All right, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. We're glad to have you watching in. We won't take too much of your time. I promise that you'll get something out of this every 2 weeks. I want to first start off by saying I'm sorry for our tardiness on this release of this episode. I'm a big fan of, and you should be too, of personal time. Worrying about number one first. If you're not okay, then you can't worry about anybody else. So I do apologize, but we're here. We're starting today. Last time I got some feedback on our first episode. I would say thank you to Cecilia. She gave me a little. If you're watching again, I want to say thank you. Big shout out to you. So I was asked to talk a little bit more about myself. So again, my name is Todd Jackson. I'm the current CEO of Todd and Associates Investing Group. Okay, and we currently invest in real estate in 3 to 4. We invest in real estate. We specialize in 3 to 4 multifamily dwelling units all around Columbus, Ohio. But right now we're focusing in on the Livingston area in between Parsons and Olive Creek. So if you're an investor, if you know any investors, please send them our information. It will be in the comments below. And if you like last episode, please subscribe and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All our social media outlets. Please follow us, and if you have already followed us, you listened to our last video. Thank you for all the support. So let's hop in today. So the theme of today's show is breaking out the hood, right? So I live in the Hilltop neighborhood. There's not a lot going for it for those who don't know. For those who know about the Hilltop neighborhood, you kind of know what it is, kind of know the gist of it is. For people that don't know, give you a little bit more of a kind of background. It's a very urban neighborhood where there's not a lot going on. There's a big drug problem out here. But there is some people like myself that are looking to do greater things with their life, and their opportunities, ambitions, things like that. So like I was saying, the theme of today's show is breaking out the hood. But the topic of today's show is called. We're going to talk about success. We're going to talk about how to obtain personal success, and kind of from the viewpoint of somebody that is kind of made it a very urban neighborhood and was able to succeed or is obtaining success right now, if you will. First thing I'm going to talk about is personal success. I never thought in a million years, looking back 4 years ago, that I was going to be able to obtain a college degree. I was the first one in my family to do it. First generation college student. I'm the first one in my intermediate family, a friend circle, all together, that obtained a college degree. And so I'm blessed to do that, but I never thought I could do that. When I was in high school, I gave the graduation speech. One of 3 people that gave a graduation speech. It was Obama's speech. I never thought I could do it, but I did it. And so like kind of why, and I kind of look back, I kind of think about like why did I have these kind of thought processes and these limitations, personal, mental blocks that I have, like why I look back and think, why do I have these things? And the first thing that I looked at was my environment. There was nobody that in my neighborhood or in my intermediate family or group of friends that went to college or were graduated. There was people that I knew that went to college before me and they didn't graduate and they kind of failed, they dropped out or whatever. And people that I looked up to, they kind of dropped out of college. And so like I never thought that I never thought it was possible for myself. But with hard work, determination, guidance from others, God, and I was able to make it through. So that was the first thing. My intermediate environment kind of limited. Uh, my intermediate environment kind of limited my success. And so the second thing is kind of listen to music. Like I never had very many role models growing up, and so like I listened to the music, and then like people around me, my intermediate friends, people that I looked up to, that older kids than I was, they're kind of looking at the things they were doing versus the things that I want to do. It didn't kind of align, and so I was very impressionable at a young age, and so that was also something that kind of limited that was a mental block that I had as well. And so the next thing, I love my family to death. I love everybody in my family, things like that. And I'm gonna keep it raw. I'm gonna keep it to set precedents for my future episode. I'm gonna keep it raw. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna try to challenge your thought process. I want you to kind of feel a lot of my sense. I want you to kind of feel where I came from. I never had a mom, never really had a father in my life. So there wasn't very much that people could tell me about how to. I didn't really have a necessarily a guidance system or a support system to kind of get me to the next level in life, or to give me guidance on what I need to do. And so that kind of, just not having that kind of or just not having that kind of solid family structure kind of limited. I kind of felt like, it kind of limited my success in a way, kind of my thought process and thinking about like where I was going to go with my life. I could have never imagined in a million years that I would be sitting here. And so those are the three things that really, I think, really limited and kind of created mental blocks. And if you kind of feel what I'm saying, then you probably have similar kind of mental blocks that you cannot let you stop me from success, right? So, like again, my environment, my peers, and my friends and family kind of limited my personal perceptions of what I thought was possible to achieve. The next thing, and kind of going into that, the discontinuing of learning and stopping to learn, kind of being complacent with where you're at right now, and you kind of, as naturally as humans, we get into a routine, and once we get in that routine, it's kind of hard for us to change. We generally don't let your like change. Okay, please continue. If get great habits. Okay, if we have a million different bad habits. Not eating healthy, not exercising, not taking enough time out for ourselves. Take out the time to read. Okay, you can read for 30 minutes a day. Just pick anything to read. Okay, and I'll tell you, it'll change your life. Um, and it kind of going off of that, kind of, we can use our devices and our social media outlets for something other than Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. There's the list goes on, right? Snapchat, we love Snapchat. If you can also use your device to learn. You can learn. You can read on your phone. There's so many things that our smartphone can do, but there's a lot of dumb people that use them. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. There's the people spend. I don't know the statistic, but I know we spend at least. I know a lot of people that in my intermediate circle that spend at least 2 hours a day on Facebook. You can spend a 2 hour. You can spend that same 2 hours googling how to save money, eat a way to gain wealth, how to purchase a home, etc. The list goes on. Just take the time out to learn about credit, how to budget money. To just take the time out to learn about changing the circumstances that you're in right now. The next thing I want to talk about is the ability to take criticism. If that last kind of discontinuation of learning kind of hits you, it's because you don't know how to take criticism. Okay, a lot of times in college, I had to learn how to not be as defensive. As African American male going to Miami University, I'm around a lot of privileged individuals that kind of have a different outlook, and how to stop taking everything that somebody said to me that was criticism or constructive criticism as a personal attack. We have to move from taking everything that somebody says as a personal attack and move it to taking something that we can learn from. Okay, and we have to learn to take every negative situation and get something positive out of it. Okay, I grew up in a hilltop neighborhood. From all my people that know what that is, they know it's a real neighborhood. I don't look back on my circumstances as a crutch. I look on it as a motivator to move forward and to obtain success. Okay, and so that's what we have to do. We have to learn how to take constructive criticism. But the second thing, part of that, is we also have to learn who to take criticism from, or what is good criticism versus what is not good criticism. A lot of times, there's people that like to chime in, people that love to talk about and not take action, like to tell you how to live your life. Mommy, daddy, they can't tell you how to obtain a college degree if they never did it. Mommy and daddy can't tell you how to become a millionaire if they never did it. They can't tell you how to get out of the hood. They've never been outside the hood themselves. Okay, so you gotta really think about your personal situation and think about who you're taking criticism, who you're letting influence in your life. Okay, and that's going to separate you, and it's going to alleviate a lot of stress and a lot of mental blocks and challenges that you have in your life to make you more successful and help you break out the hood, right? And so the second thing is we're on the fifth thing now. So 4 was criticism, how to take criticism. 5 is ego. So we cannot go through life thinking that we know everything, or thinking that there's nothing that anybody can teach us, or there's nothing that anybody can tell us. Or growing up myself, I always thought there was nobody that had the same circumstances I had. There's a million people that have the same circumstances that we all do. Okay, so we have to really learn how to step back from your personal reality and move forward. Okay, but trying to remove your ego and now help you grow, obtain success, and eventually break out the hood. And so, or if you're not in it, just obtain success. If you're making a lot of money right now, and you come across this video to make more money, let go of your ego. If you got a nice car, or if you even think it's a nice car, if you think that you obtained success so far, and there's nobody that can touch you, there's nobody that can tell you anything to help you obtain more success, then that's where you're all you always be. That's the same standard of success that you always have. Nobody can tell you. If anybody can kind of influence your life, or tell you exactly what you're doing wrong, right? And that kind of goes along also with criticism. Um, we're talking about breaking the hood. We also have to touch on this as well. We have to touch on how to spend our money, because a lot of times, in the hood, or generally people that make a lot, people generally that make $100,000 a year still can be struggling because they spend more than they make, or they overexpend themselves, right? And so we have to learn to come to a medium, to come to the point to we have to come to the point to where we think about what we buy. Is it a need or a want? Okay, and so you have to think about, if you think in the confines of a budget. If you don't have a budget, please make a budget. Please write out how much your rent is, how much your electric generally is, how much your gas bill generally is, how much you pay in gas for your car, how much is your car insurance, how much is your phone. But those are called fixed expenses. Please write a budget out. Write everything you got to pay in a month, and everything, and write down how much you got coming in. Okay, I do this at least 4 or 5 times a month. Okay, and then kind of plan out how much money you'll have left over, how much money can you save, and how much money can you put in your entertainment budget. Okay, so that's my next thing. And then wrapping it up here, I want to wrap it up. I want to keep you guys too long. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in, that stayed with us so far. If you're still watching, I'm about to wrap it up right now. And so every week, TAG TV wants to come to you with a game changer, something that we're gonna come to you with a call to order, or a challenge for yourself to try to improve your personal level of success, right? And so this week, I listened to a talk by the guy named Earl Nightingale. It was on YouTube. The name of his talk was called "The Strangest Secret," right? And so he talks about success, right? In this video, the topic of it, the focus of it is on success, or you call it like breaking up the hood, right? And he defines success as the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Okay, a lot of times we want success, we want a lot of money, we want fancy cars, we want a big house, we want a nice pool, we want a flashy thing, but we don't even know why we want them. Is that really going to make you happy? I had the same conversation with my brother today. He just got his first real job. And he can't even. I asked him, like, okay, why are you working? What do you want to get out of? What do you want to get out of success? What money? How? Like, what is the number that you need to get whatever you need to get to make successful? He didn't know. He's like, I'm working because I want my family want me to work. I'm working because I want to buy a car. If you're working for materialistic things, if you don't know if you're working for materialistic things, you don't know what you're working towards, then you're always gonna be working for your whole life. I was reading a book also by Dean Graziosi, also another good. When I'm doing this, shout out to Dean Graziosi. I've been reading a lot of his books, and also shout out to David Lindhall. I attended the Re-Mentor Boot Camp 2 weekends ago. Amazing, life-changing boot camp. I really appreciate it. Also, Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone kind of gave me inspiration to start this video. But kind of going back to what I was saying, Dean Graziosi said that get in the car and drive, right? Get in the car and just drive and just go. Okay, go until you run out of gas. More than likely, you'll end up somewhere that you don't want to be. And a lot of times in life, that's what we do. We get up and we go to work every day, and we get an income, and we go about the routine kind of lifestyle, and then generally end up most of Americans will end up depressed or unhappy with our lives. Most people generally live unhappy with their lives because you're working, you don't know what you're working for. Okay, if you haven't really thought about, kind of do some soul searching and think about what are you working for, what will make you happy. Okay, I went to college not because I want to go to college. I went to college because everybody in my family wanted me to go to college, and because that was supposed to be the norm to be successful. Go to college, everything else falls in place. It's not the truth. I'm here to tell you, I did it. It's not the truth, but it does make you better off than if I didn't go to college. But you got to decide what you want out of your life. Okay, but going back to Earl Nightingale, and so he's talking about success. I'm kind of summarize what he was talking about in his talk. And then he goes on after he talks, he defines success. He goes on to say that we are what we become about. And he uses the metaphor, he uses the brain, he refers to the brain as a field. And he said that the brain is like a field because no matter what you put into it, the brain doesn't care. Similar to land, right? And he said that if you plant bad seeds in land, then you'll reap bad yields. If you put good seeds in land, then you reap good seeds. If you put bad seeds in your brain, okay, if you only think about the negative things that you got going in life, your bills, your kids, the people that you hate at work, then that's all that you will ever receive. That's all that will come of your life. These negative things. There will be more negative things that come on. Then when your car breaks down, or then when you get sick, or you fall ill. If you only think about negative things in your life, then that's all that will come of your life, right? And so, but he goes on through the video, and I'm gonna wrap it up with this. Uh, Please follow us on TAIG TV. Follow us. Subscribe to TAIG TV. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Information will be below. But he goes on to say this, and I'll wrap it up, and this is it. He says that do a 30-day challenge, right? He says, ooh, ooh. Uh, he says do a 30-day challenge, and then what he says is in the 30-day challenge is, one second. On my car, but it's a 30-day challenge. And then in the 30-day challenge, he said, write this down. Write this down. If you got a pen and paper, please get a pen and paper out. Write this down. This is our challenge for the week, and I challenge you to change the situation that you're in, right? And so do a little searching. Come up with one goal, okay? And write your one goal on the front of the car like this, okay? Write the one goal on the front of your car, okay? My goal is purchase my first duplex, triplex, or 4-unit property, okay? And on the back, he also give you a quote. Here's a quote: Ask it, ask it shall be given. Seek and you will find. Knock, it will be provided open for you. Everyone that asketh receiveth. Everyone that seeketh findeth. In the end, everyone that knocketh upon the door shall open unto them. Okay, read that every second you change. Read your goal, and then flip it over and read the quote. Every chance you get, every free moment you get, or at least once when you wake up, before you go to bed, and maybe once at work. Okay, read it 3 times a day at least, and see how your life changes. My name is Todd Jackson. I'm current Chief Executive Officer of TAIG TV. Tag me in. See you in 2 weeks.